Hey folks, do you want to cook like the chefs from old Italy? I'm getting ready to teach you to make spaghetti sauce. I'm telling you, if you take the rest of those garden tomatoes and follow along, 5 minutes. All it's going to take is 5 minutes. Stick with me for 5 minutes and I will teach you how to cook a spaghetti dish that is going to delight your guests. You gotta try this, folks. Of course, along with me is my ordinary grill dog, Sherman. Good catch. Everybody should have a grill dog because when you drop food on the floor, you don't have to bend over to pick it up. Now to get started with our Italian spaghetti sauce, of course, the first thing we need is fresh tomatoes. And I've used about 8 pounds of fresh tomatoes. The secret to good spaghetti sauce is to really cook the liquid out of it. And I use just an ordinary hamburger grinder, and I chop, I chop and I stir. And I've had these tomatoes going for about 5 hours now. You can see it's really turning in to a good tomatoey thick sauce. We want it thick. 2 medium-sized onions chopped, 4 cloves of garlic, and I cheat. I used the minced garlic, and 1 teaspoon is equal to a clove. 1/4 cup of fresh basil. Now in this case, I'm going to use just a spiced basil leaf, and I'm going to cut that back just a little bit. 1/4 cup olive oil, teaspoon of salt. You can use 4 sprigs of fresh parsley, but I'm going to use a spiced parsley, and again, I'm just going to use a teaspoon of parsley. 1 tablespoon of sugar. So the first thing I'm going to do is heat my olive oil so I can saute my onions. So after my olive oil has heated, I'm going to get my onions going. I don't like to get too crazy with the spices when I'm using the fresh tomatoes. So I really stick to the bare minimum. 1/4 cup basil. Again, I'm lighting it up because it's a 1/4 cup of fresh basil. But these are basil leaves. A teaspoon of salt. A teaspoon of parsley. I'm just gonna saute that for 5 to 10 minutes. Just to soften those onions up and mix in that spice. This is really simple, just like they did it in the old country. Then 4 cloves of garlic, or in my case, I'm using minced garlic, so 4 teaspoons of garlic. This stuff goes a long way. A teaspoon of oregano leaves, a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I'm crying because of the onions. What do you think, Grill Dog? I'm gonna call you an Italian shepherd instead of a German shepherd. You can take tomatoes and you can core them. Go back to some of our previous videos. I believe that it's on spaghetti sauce, and I showed you how to parboil and how to core tomatoes. I freeze them. This was the very last of my tomatoes for this season. Plus I took a bag out that I'd frozen earlier. We have family coming in this weekend, and so a nice fresh tomato spaghetti sauce really sounds good to me. You can can this, you can freeze this, you can just put it in the refrigerator, keep for a week. So after we've sauteed our onions, and again, the fresh tomatoes is what makes this. And so I go real light on the spices. If you're using canned tomatoes, store-bought tomatoes, you might add some spice. You can't do anything wrong with this. Well, I guess you can, but stick pretty close to this delicious recipe, and you're gonna just wow your guests. This is something else. This is like the taste of old Italy, or the taste of a fine Italian restaurant. We're gonna give this a stir, and depending on, you know, how long our tomato stock, you know, probably cook this for about an hour on a real high heat and continue to work out the moisture in the tomatoes. I've been cooking this so long that mine's going to be done very quickly. And there you have it, folks. A fresh, delicious, delectable tomato spaghetti sauce. Serve it with whatever kind of meat you like. If you like Italian sausage, you like meatballs, or you like just to mix the ground beef in it. I've done it with shrimp. I've done it with chicken. This is a real springy, just a delicious garden sauce, and you can eat it with anything. It doesn't even have to be with spaghetti, as you can see. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, that is so good. Oh. You gotta try this. You have to try this. Kelbob. Out.